What's up and welcome guys to One Oak Mentor and the number one virtual teen mentoring service program commodity of all times, right? Y'all already know what it is, right? Once again, it's been a couple days, man. You know, every time I get on here, it's the same thing, right? Got a little time off this week, man, so I'm gonna try to give y'all a couple of videos. Today, I'm gonna be doing a teen tales, and this is just a little teen tale. Like I tell y'all, these teen tales are just for the people that might want to a mentor or service. These teen tales are just basically to kind of just like relay, showing y'all I make mistakes, man. I know when y'all look at me, y'all like, man, this dude is just perfect, man. I mean, come on now. But I'm not really as perfect as y'all guys might think, man. I know I let a lot of y'all down, man. So I got a little Kleenex, man. Y'all go cry in the corner or whatever. But okay, this is gonna be like a real short one or whatever. So all right. So the name of this is I don't even know what the name is. I'm gonna call this yeah, I don't even know what to call it. I'm just gonna call it I told you so, right? I told you so. That might not be the best title, but that's what we're gonna go with today, right? I told you so, right? All right. So back when I was around, I'll say I was like 14, right? Because I started driving at 15, right? So normally, I'm not gonna say in regular households, but in most households, like when when you start getting 14, around that age, 14, 15, your parents start, prepping you or grooming you to drive. Like, you know what I mean, man? Y'all might be going to like Burger King or something, what I'm saying? First, they might start off, you might can hold your hand. You in the passenger seat, but you might can hold it over, and she be like, let's see what you can do. Oh, but boy, you can't drive, get out of here. So, so it start off kind of slow like that, and then, you might go to like a parking lot, and your parent might get in the car with you and actually let you sit behind the driver's seat, and you get to jerk it and doing all that stuff like that. But you know what I mean? So that's basically where I was in life. I was 14, getting ready to drive. So I had been doing a little bit of driving, right? So where I live, there's this like like they built this trail like behind the whole community or whatever, right? So it's like a whole new road. So it's like a back road, right? It's like this big back road, like all the way around. It's probably like at least, I'll say like half a mile, something like that, right? So what I would do during my driving prepping stage, right, or my driving prepping phase, what I would do is, my father had this truck and he would just let me, just drive around the back, just drive around the back, man. How hard is that, right? You're just driving around the back, getting your feel, your groove for driving, you know what I mean? So on this particular day, now this is when I've had been doing it for a while, I'm just used to driving, just driving around and stuff like that, doing my normal thing, right? But every time my dad would give me the keys, right, hey, my daddy was not a man of many words, but when he did say something, he meant it, right? I mean, my father's not gonna really be doing a lot of fussing. There's more of my mom thing. When daddy come in there, you already know what's up, right? So it ain't no pleading, warning, fussing, no. Daddy don't like something that's going on, man, you gonna know it, and you gonna know it up front, right? But another thing about my daddy, he's kind of laid back too, man. So he's not, like I said, my mama did a majority of the fussing. So some of the little things I would do, he'd just be laid back about it, like, ah, man, I ain't worried about that, Good job, Pops. So, but whenever he would give me these keys, right, he would say, Sean, he'd give me that look. Just make sure you stand here. Don't leave out of this. Don't leave out of here. So when he mean leave out of here, he mean like getting on the highway or whatever, right? Because the actual back trail, that was actually like a legal road that had like a sign and all that too, but it was just a trail. So it's not like police are back there or like I gotta worry about getting pulled over, like, you know what I mean? So he would always tell me, just don't leave out of here, stay in here, just drive around, all right? So, each time I'd be like, okay, because I mean, they already giving me, the freedom to drive alone at 14, just driving around. I don't know, like, right now it kind of sounds silly, but like I'm sure if you're 14 years old and your parents like, look here, here's the keys, drive around the neighborhood. Not just the neighborhood, but it was like a back trail area, like, or whatever. So I can just drive, I can turn my music on. So I'm kind of like getting ready, you know, like for how I'm driving on a date. So I'm just sitting back, you know, I'm trying to make sure my seats recline right, you know, I'm trying to make sure I got, you know, the right station on, or, you know, if I got my girl with me, you know what I'm saying, I can just hit that station real smooth or whatever, and I can still look cool. So I'm doing my cool driving right now, you know. Normally when I'm in the car with my parents or whatever, oh, you better be at 10 and 2, you know what I mean? And 10 and 2, if y'all know, that's kind of like the clock. So like, I guess 10 would be somewhere around here too, something like that, right? So both hands better be on the steering wheels, and you better not touch that radio on top of that, right? All right, both hands, no radio when my mom or my dad in the car. But when it's just me, man, I gotta be ready to look cool, man. When I start driving, I gotta get some practice, right? So I'm laying back, listening to the radio. You know, man, hey, man. Well, not the radio. I'm not really that old, but it's more like a CD player, something like that. But y'all get it. So I'm just sitting back, chilling, you know, driving like, oh, man, this is how it's gonna be to drive, man. I'm so cool. I'm getting all this experience. Oh, man, my favorite song's on, you know, it's probably something by like, I don't know, by like Ludacris or something. You know, that was around the time when Ludacris and Nelly was popular, so I'm probably listening to some of that. I'm just driving, man, feeling awesome, right? So, does everybody know when you keep giving somebody an inch, right? I mean, you trusting them just to take that inch. First, they just giving you an inch, and they watching you to make sure you take that inch. Then they just start giving you that inch and just walking off like, here, man, take an inch, man, you know. Take another inch. So when you start giving people inches and you're not, you know, really paying attention to it. And what I mean by an inch, man, a lot of y'all might not know the motto or the phrase, give somebody an inch and they'll take a mile. So my daddy kept giving me inches. All right, man, go around that drive, you know, just don't. So I'm thinking like, you know what? I'm such a great driver, man, like, would it really be so bad if I actually like went onto the highway a little bit, you know, drove a little bit on the highway and then turned back around? I mean, come on, man, I'm already a great driver, right? You know, and then I can kind of practice my cool driving while you know what I'm saying? So I'm riding around that trail and I'm thinking like, I don't know, man, Daddy really don't play about stuff like that. He seemed pretty serious when he gave me them keys. Every time, you know, that's the only request. Don't leave out of here, man, you know. He didn't badger me about the radio, about the 10-2, about, you know, talking on the phone and doing all this. Phones were around. I did have a cell phone back then, for y'all to think I'm too old. So then I get to think, I'm like, you know what? I'm a great driver. You know what I mean? Like, what's the worst that can happen, right? So that needs to be the name of the title. What's the worst that can happen, right? So I'm just like taking over. What's the worst that can happen, right? So, all right, cool. So, man, I drive around that circle one more time, and then you know how you at that fork in the road, literally and mentally, or hypothetically, or however you want to say it. So I could have went right and just kept doing what I was doing, you know, smooth sailing, or I could bust that left, right, and go towards the highway, right. So I'm thinking like, what's the worst that can happen, man? I mean, just right down the road, I can just turn in and zig back, you know. Typical 14-year-old. So I said, you know what, man? You only live once. Let's do this. So, whip. I'm going left, right? So, you know, I got my cool thing going, you know. So then I got to the stop sign. I'm at the very last stop sign where it's like highway right, highway left, right? So I said, all right, I bust this right. So I look. I ain't see nothing coming, you know. I'm just like, this is gonna be easy, man. I mean, I don't know why they so uptight about this type of stuff. I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? So I whipped that thing. I'm gonna go right. So I went right. So I'm driving, you know, for like about 3 seconds. I'm kind of like, oh man, I'm a little like, I'm on the highway, man. You know, I'm not supposed to be doing this. No license, no permit. Now I don't even think I had a permit at that time. So I'm driving. And then a few seconds pass. I kind of get used to it. Like, okay, all right, this is how it's gonna be. Ah, man, this is not hard at all, right? So I'm blasting my music, you know what I'm saying? Turning it up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, You know, this is how it's gonna be, right? So I'm like, okay, all right, man, I'm having enough. Which I really didn't drive that far. I don't even think I even drove like a whole lap. You know, a lap is a quarter mile. So I'm like, all right, man, I didn't have my fun. You know, hey, I don't want to push it. You know what I mean? I'm already doing something I'm not supposed to do, like a lot of teenagers, right? So I was like, man, I'm about to turn on this road, turn around, and come back, man. Mission accomplished. Yeah, that's the word. So I whip it, get ready to turn, and when I'm trying to back up, I'm not sure what was going on. I don't know if I turned in. No, I think I might have turned in, and lo and behold, that back tire got caught in the ditch. Yeah. In the ditch. My back tire, right? So I hit the gas. Just, you know, going nowhere, right? So I think after about 2 seconds, like extreme panic started setting in, right? Because I'm thinking like, you know, and it probably wouldn't have been that hard to get the truck out of the ditch. You know, if somebody did have to come and move it. But I was just thinking like, man, I didn't want to see my father's face, and I definitely didn't want to hear his voice, because I remember him telling me, stay in here, all right? So I'm thinking in my mind, I'm panicking. I'm like, oh, man. So I'm hitting the gas. Weak motor. Ah, man. So, like, you know, when you about to give up, and you're just like, man, the only resort I have is to, you know, just call, man, you know, because I'm not going to be able to get out of this. So I'm just thinking, like, I'm panicking in my mind. I'm like, man, they ain't going to never let me drive again. How stupid am I, right? So I don't know what it was, but something just told me just try one more time, right? So I gave it one of those, instead of just smashing it, I gave it a little doop. Then I smashed like doop, doop. Like gas, smash. Man, I didn't even think it was gonna work, because I did all kind of combinations. When I hit it and it moved and it came up out of that ditch, man, it was like God, it was just like rays of sunlight, just like shine will begin to shine down on me, and I'm just like, oh God, thank you. Oh man, thank you. There was so much tension and stress relieved off my brain and relieved. I'm just like, oh my God, right? So I got back to, you know, our neighborhood as fast as possible. I didn't even ride the trail anymore. I just took it right back to the crib, you know, and just pulled up. I got back there like, hey, you been gone for a little while. You all right? I was like, oh yeah, I'm just riding around, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's just my teen tales for today, man. You know, I'm gonna do a couple more videos for y'all, you know, to keep this thing on track, keep this thing on pace. This is One Oak. I care about y'all. Take care of yourself, and I am out.